So I'm gonna try to minimize that. So first of all, I just wanted to reiterate, and you guys probably know by now that the government is ramping up at this stage. Usually between July, August, September is the peak of essentially government purchasing. So if you have ever hoped for a time to jump in, this is a really, really good time, because chances are that they're churning so many contracts out that they might start dishing out some of the what we call the small dollar, and small dollar in government's mind is like 250,000, right? Projects between 25,000 to all the way up to about 250,000. So a lot of those will start coming on. So this is a really good time to spend a few extra hours, if you can, on SAM.gov or wherever you look. So I just checked today. I'm going to look in here because it's what I'm mostly familiar with, but I can look also in SAM. And usually in this, you can search for federal opportunities or DIPS or SBIR. Don't worry about having to know all that. I'm just going to look at federal opportunities for simplicity's sake. So I go in here, I say, oh, let me just see what's out there right now. And if you can see my screen, there's right about this second, there's about 2,308,000 solicitations. So that's a lot, right? I would say that you probably don't need all that. I mean, chances are you can never fulfill all of them, because some will vary and be targeted to different things. So you want to obviously search for what is just targeted to what you're interested in. Out of 2 million, if you remember the law of probability, chances are very high that you're going to find at least you can filter down 10 things that you can focus on. And this particular software doesn't even show all. There are other sites that are just not being put in here. So there's probably another million or so that aren't showing up in this particular software. But you want to simplify. So it doesn't matter if you're not seeing all the 4 million solicitations that are out there. If you can see 2 million and filter from that, then why worry about many other things? But I'll show you, just because some things are simpler for one person and a little more difficult for others. This, let me see if I can move this tab. And those of you, oh, there we go, perfect. This website here is very, very interesting for many of you guys. If you have never checked it, it's called USSpending.gov. This is a place where you can come and research. You can research essentially at state level, you can research at department level, you can research all the way down to individual companies. You can go in and actually see. I may have shown you this in the past, but it's a very powerful database where you can essentially research and see what's happening, just so that you can get a sense of where to focus your energy. The other thing that you can use this particular tool for is to find out which big companies have been awarded big contracts, because I don't know if I mentioned this last time or not. If a company gets a contract, if a large company gets a contract that's over 4 million, by law, they have to subcontract at least 30% to small business. So you can come in here and filter the information, find out who got what, when, how much dollar value, and if it lines up with your NAICS, with your particular NAICS code, you can reach out to those companies and say, hey, this is my specialty. I can do this. I'm an electrician. I'm a computer scientist. I am this or that. Do you have any opportunities on this particular contract? Because you know that they have already been awarded, right? So just as a quick recap, you can go and search by state. It will list them and rank them, from Alabama all the way to wherever the last state is. In this case, it's US Virgin Islands. And depending on where you are, wherever you happen to live in, if you want to focus on the state that you're working from, you can, right? You could do that. Right now I'm in Idaho, so I'm curious about how Idaho is doing. So I would click on that and see up to date, up to now, this is from October 1st last year to today's date, which is probably, a few weeks because it takes a while for data to be input. There has been $17.5 billion awarded to companies within the territory of Idaho. That's what that amounts to. And also state agencies. Some state agencies get direct grants and stuff, but it can break it down for you. You can dive in and look at, what does it add up to? It's 8.9 billion in direct payments. These are contracts. Grants is about 4.1 billion in grants. So these are companies like, the nuclear company perhaps doing a research for an area that the government has interest in. It's 2.2 billion for contracts. I apologize for that. These are direct payments to states. So if they're funding, say, the Department of Transportation, they say Idaho will get 2 billion to help develop their roads. All that money in the end still end up to contractors like you and me. By putting up projects on the road design, bridge installation, lighting in the streets, cities, and all that kind of stuff. And then there's other. This is uncategorized, at least at the point of this time. This money hasn't been quite categorized. There could be many reasons for that. It could be money spent on either secret projects that they don't want to disclose, or it could be just that the filing has come more recently and therefore it hasn't been attributed correctly yet. And you can look at the profile of how much money has been coming to Idaho and see the trend line. It looks like it's been growing and growing. If 2022 is already greater than how much Idaho got in 2009 by now, so you can bet that this is probably going to rise to either close to 2021 or slightly past, right? You can see the trend line. So a lot of money is coming in. And if you're the kind of person who likes to do research, this is a place where you can go look and dive in. It will rank for you which departments have the most money. In this case, it's the Social Security, there's Department of Health, there's Department of Energy. So if you're interested, if you're like me, an electrical engineer, you say, oh, Department of Energy gets 1.55 billion. I wonder what I can do with it, right? And reach out to people and figure out. So you can play all day long in here and find specific contracts. You'll find all kinds of stuff. I'll leave that to you to play in it and see. But like I said, you can actually see exactly who got what amount. And this is the beautiful thing about government is you get all the data and you can make decisions based on whatever data that you want to go by. So that is that. There's a whole lot you can do. You can look up companies, you can look up your competitors, you can look up, you can look up pretty much anything that government has spent a dollar to a very, very granular level. So spend some time there if you are interested to research for yourself, if you're the type that likes to research and make decisions based off of that.